5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Deducter bringing you the OSL Round of 24 Group A Set 1. Today we have Flash versus Hyun. By the way, this is technically called the On a Game Net Dual Tournament, or ODT, but it's really essentially the OSL 24, but the OSL doesn't really start until the round of 16. So the naming is a bit weird. I'm going to call it the OSL 24, even though technically that is incorrect, the OSL Round 24 rather. And today we have Flash as the brown Terran at the 7 o'clock position, and we have Hyun as the purple Zerg at the 1 o'clock position. Normally, Hyun has approximately a negative 100% chance of beating Flash, even though that is a statistical impossibility because there is no such thing as negative percentages. That's how far out of his league Hyun is. But fortunately for Hyun, and unfortunately for Flash fans, including myself, Flash does have his hand injury, which is a serious injury that has, it seems like it has affected his gameplay. And it may, in fact, be a decisive factor here. I mean, I would say for Hyun to beat Flash, Flash would have to have a heart attack or something to boot. And, I mean, that may very well come true here for the Flash anti-fans. Flash could, in fact, lose this game because of something, a physical problem, basically. And we shall see. Even with his injury, Flash is still unlikely to lose, in my opinion. It's hard to say for sure. We'll find out soon enough. Hyun's scouting with a drone. He wants to make sure he knows what's going on. This is New Bloody Ridge, which is a 2-player map. But Hyun really wants to know what's going on. There is a 12-hatch build, it looks like, coming from Hyun. His drone is trying to pick away at some of these SEVs, but I doubt it's going to accomplish much. Hyun would be wise, though, to, I mean, normally I advise against players going to late game, but if Flash does have his injury, pushing a game as long as possible may, in fact, open weaknesses for Flash. When there's a lot of things going on, Flash may not simply be able to deal with it physically, and that would be quite a shame, because normally he is invincible in the late game. But ironically, with his injury, and notice that I am using the word ironically correctly, it does not mean funny, it means the opposite of what is expected. What is expected is, of course, that Flash wins, and perhaps, me saying this, like, the definition of ironic, etc., and using it correctly, I use words wrong all the time, but I am especially proud of myself when I use the words correctly, which is a good thing. So anyway, because Flash is normally expected to be invincible in the late game, he may, in fact, be weak in the late game now, I don't know, and that scouting drone going down to a Marine there. Flash looks like he is getting early engineering bay, +1 attack coming out for Flash here. So I don't know. Hyun looks like he's gone a pretty standard build. 2-hatch pool, 3rd hatch. He's going to try to war away this scouting SCV here. Flash is not going to be too bothered by this. Everything seems to be proceeding as standard. Hyun is going to have, if he's not careful, he could lose to an early timing attack. Flash is getting his academy and engineering bay. Hyun does have 2 overlords there to scout. If there is a significant force of medic marines, he's going to be able to see it and hopefully respond correctly. Because if he doesn't, he's going to lose the game. Flash, still with absolutely perfect timing. I don't know how he did that. That thing was, that SEV transfer, the marinating of the SEVs was done, like, textbook flawless execution. Even pro gamers aren't usually that good. Notice how Flash, as soon as Command Center finished, all the SCVs that he sent had minerals ready to go and went to the Command Center. That is insane timing. So perhaps his physical injury isn't as bad as it appears. I don't know. I really don't know. Flash putting down 3 barracks. Although if Flash has to get MRA scan, I mean, that is absolutely serious. There's no question, really, about that. So, but even in his diminished capacity, Flash is still capable, still more than aware of what's going on. If StarCraft were a pure mental game, which it isn't, of course, that's sort of the point, that it shouldn't really be a pure mental game, that physical attributes or physical abilities are very important too. But if StarCraft were a mental game, I think Flash would be nearly the undisputed champion. The only other person I think who would be able to match him is probably Uvi in his prime and Savior, who are two of the more well-known strategic players in StarCraft. Anyway, it looks like there are quite a few speedlings out for Hyun. Flash going up to 5 barracks is I've seen him do this a number of times. It's a very powerful, very early push. He's going to have +1 upgraded very soon. And Hyun's Mutalisks aren't even going to be able to do any sort of harass. Hyun really has no choice but to try to delay this Medic Marine army from breaching his base. If the Medic Marines manage to batter their way through to the natural, it's going to be GG. Flash pushing out with his infantry, +1 should be finished very soon. Flash also putting down a bunker. He seems to be a bit concerned about potential counterattack there. Flash, maybe he'll scan and kill the Overlord? No. He's just going to push ahead with his first Medic Marines. He unfortunately does have his Overlord in position to spot these attacks coming, and Flash putting down a few turrets now. Quite a few more at the natural. Probably worried a bit about that ridge there. And let's see whether Hyun can execute a nice attack here on Flash's forces. Flash does have +1 finished. So his forces are going to be fine. He has 3 medics there with his Marines, so he actually, I think, will be able to stim quite a few times if necessary. I'm not sure whether baiting the stim will work all that well. Hyun does look like he is positioning forces for a surround attack. He's got Mutalisks in the north and a few Zerglings in the south. He needs to be a bit careful, of course, and actually use his forces well, or rather attack at the same time. Looks like he might be cutting off reinforcements of Flash here. These Zerglings not effective at all. Hyun losing half his Zerglings for absolutely nothing there. And Hyun, I think, with his Zerglings thus diminished, he is going to have some serious trouble facing Flash in the field. Hyun needs either more Zerglings, which he does have some more. He's bringing them in conjunction with Mutalisks for attack. He's attacking directly on frontal assault here. And he kills a number of Medic Marines, but that attack was not nearly as effective as it could be. Flash's forces have routed his Zerglings, slaughtered most of them. Hyun still has his Mutalisks mostly preserved, which is good, and Flash picking off Overlord there. He's got a ton of Medic Marines. Hyun has nothing to defend his natural. He needs something out now. I mean, I think Flash is going to force Hyun into engagement here. He'll bring out his Zerglings, not really pulling off the best surround attack. Flash slaughtering everything. So many dead Zerglings. I cannot believe it. And Flash, this is an emphatic victory. He's pretty much won at this point. Even if he loses all these Medic Marines, he'll have executed so many drones at the natural that Hyun's not going to be able to recover. All the drones are dead. Flash also sending 3 Marines to execute Hyun's forces in the main. This is what I mean. Flash, great, knows just exactly how many forces to send. And Hyun not even able to clean up these Medic Marines in the natural. GG coming from Hyun. Emphatic victory by Flash for early timing attack. Hyun falling apart there. So Flash certainly still got it. And look at him. His hand. Oh, Flash. Poor guy. This is so sad to watch. It is his right hand, by the way, which is the hand he is holding there. That, you know, geez, this is, despite his emphatic victory, I worry for Flash here. Going on to the next match.